the voice you hear is the shapeshifter saying, has anything gone wrong?
Trusair is now nervous about using his voice in this situation. He'll reach out and sort of like, since I have the line there, I can type a message and say, complications. Send.
There'll be a long pause, and then during that time, that'll be when Vice actually gets the call.
Hey, be right back. I'm about to get hit by a big storm, so I want to take the dog out one more time.
Okay. Then you'll get him saying that because they just appear to have had some strange movement from the group, the gang.
Is going to wait to see what the sunken angels do, because he doesn't want to disturb them.
Well, Vice is probably going to be very angry in his talk with the Burning Angels, saying that he pays them for protection, and he thought they would actually protect him. I mean, he's not going to get really, heated and blame them that everything is ruined. He's just going to say he wished they could have gotten there quickly, much quicker.
You'll get a call from your contact saying, we were there within a minute. Did you want to pay us to sit outside your front door? Is that what you're hoping for? And about that point, they'll start filing out.
Trusair.
Vice will see that.
Yeah. Trusair will wait until the last of them leaves, and then he'll say in a low breath, in the comlink, strange movement. Well, quite a few of them did file out on a search and rescue missions of sorts for that damn rabbit we captured.
You got him? You got anything else from him?
Rabbit's dead. We had some information we were looking to pursue. His sister, and Trusair will launch into an explanation of the names and the angels and demons bar. His sister was actually at the same warehouse that we were at whenever their convoy rode in, presumably to take the girl or to thwart you. She was actually back there as well, wielding a flamethrower. I assume she too is part of this group, and we were going to try to get a hold of her for information. But considering how many of them we've just killed, we may try to take a peek and find another one of their outposts or the main base itself. But yeah, complications. Mr. Johnson.
Well, main base seems to be packing up. Groups split off. Don't know why. Assuming it's the group that went after you. Everyone else seems to be packing up and get ready to get out.
Trusair will frown and say, I don't suppose getting them to leave the area counts as a successful completion, does it? He doesn't laugh. I am.
No, the problem we had is that every time they leave, they just pop back up again somewhere else.
Is there anything else, Mr. Johnson?
The maze contact is interesting, but I don't think worthy of calling it a completed contract.
Understood for now, since especially we do not have our hands on her, Mr. Johnson.
And then he'll close the link.
Trusair, slowly rising to his feet, visible, will call the group and say, Mr. Johnson just gave me a call while the Burning Angels were standing right in front of me. Told me that the Drek hit the fan, and what just happened has stirred up the entire hive's nest. I imagine these outliers, these pirates, whatever they are afraid that we have extracted more information from the damn rabbit than we actually have. After one of them suicide dived at the rabbit with explosives, even though I'd already killed it, it appears that they are packing up the main base rapidly, like they are preparing to exfiltrate, erase all existence of them having been there and relocate somewhere else, which I'll go ahead and say is not exactly us completing the contract.
Hey man, they just wanted us to eradicate them. They didn't say how far away they needed to be eradicated from.
Spoke with the Mr. Johnson, I can tell you, his employer doesn't consider it as a completion.
Yeah,
They specifically said that they'd only pay you to eradicate them if you eradicate the group that was funding them or supplying them.
fair enough. Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well, this operation was quickly becoming more expensive than it was going to pay anyway.
Either we try to capture the flamethrower girl, which I'm not too keen on since I only wanted her to use as leverage on the damn rabbit, or we quickly hightail it down to Escondido and in their hive state find some information they managed to let go. We're still not on a timer. This is a long-term surveillance mission we can still perform.
It's fair.
That's fine. Just keep in mind that all but one of my combat drones are now out of commission. I can bring my little roto drone, but that's it.
There seems to be some kind of link between this group and the Mafia. Could be that they were the ones funding it. Could be they were just being paid protection money.
As well, the Trusair frowns and says, how's the Mafia involved?
Oh, well, they made me when I was scoping out the apartment and warned that any damages done to their current operation would be reclaimed from, well, me in this case, and probably you guys if they found out about you as well.
Yes, they could definitely, someone in the Mafia could be responsible for funding this entire shadow organization. I imagine they would have interest, as would many other groups, in thwarting big A interest, or big whatever, change within the City of Angels, or, as you mentioned, they could just be hired muscle and not connected to the matter at all.
No real way to know yet.
You could ask.
I mean, I know that as a player, but... From Twitch's perspective, she's already had 10 times her daily allotment of Mafia interaction.
Yeah, the only one that Coyote could really ask is Snowman. He might know. I have no idea what kind of cost that would be, though.
have the 10,000 that we were forwarded up front. I mean, we did lose a little bit of that money to pay for some things, I think.
Muted. Sound resumed.
We also got a lot of guns and that Jeep we could sell.
So we actually, alright, we did lose a little bit of that money for expenses I noted in my Chapter 3 notes. Just for, like, we paid for, like, the scan for the bugs and other shit like that. So we're at 8,900 Nuyen still of the 10,000 we were forwarded. So that's our expense account. And we still have, you know, all the stuff that we liberated last week. So we still have positive income to work off here. So, speaking out of character here, I mean, certainly contact payment is certainly not impossible in exchange for more information about this, Crimson.
Yeah, and just a note, I was talking with Sean earlier, and Coyote footed that 100 Nuyen bill for the scan, so, I mean, can settle up later or forget about it, wasn't that much.
Going to be resolved through the expense account. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, I know. No, that's fine. I was just mentioning that just so we don't double count it, that's all. Well, yeah, so I can call up Snowman and ask him if he knows about any mafia work being done in the area, especially involving the Angels and Demons bar and this area of town that they're staking out right now.
Well, when you call him, you'll get a message soon enough saying he doesn't really know anything about the mafia's activities in the area.
Coyote will sigh and say, "Well, thanks for trying, Snowman. What do I owe him for no information? Because he did have to do some legwork. So is there a charge? I don't even know."
No, he'll tell you if he's charging you for something.
Figured as much. All right. Well, Coyote will tell the rest of the group. Yeah, Snowman was dry. He has no idea. We'll have to find some other avenue.
Well, currently I think the only two ways you have of knowing what's going on is that bar and the individuals in it, and the camp down there.
Yeah, there was a reporter that was kicked out. My Kanmushi or whatever was looking probably got a good picture of that. Could try to track him down and see if he saw anything. That's a long shot, though.
That would be a ridiculously long shot. I mean, he was just like a paparazzi trying to get pictures of some B-listers.
Right. Yeah, I figured, but that's all I can think of. So yeah, it's either get into that bar like you say, or go down to. Cody's not crazy about either one of those options, honestly, but it's up to you guys.
Or just call it a wash.
Yeah, there might be something to be said for just calling it off for now and letting things die down, and maybe can come back to it. Since there is no time limit, maybe it'll come up again in a couple weeks or a month or something like that.
And since they're apparently packing up their base anyway.
True, but if they radically change their operation, they may be changing everything from the top down, so you might lose pretty much all contact.
So how hard would it be to get into that bar?
Well, as far as you can tell, the only requirement is a pedo. And you have no idea how hard it is to get a pedo. You've never tried, I don't think.
And I don't think we want to go down to Escondido. Right?
Coyote certainly doesn't. Like he told you all, he has very few combat drones, and it's the one, well, doesn't have much armor on the one he has. And he's assuming there's going to be a firefight if they try to break in while they're moving out.
Twitch is going to keep coming back to the warned off by the Mafia thing.
Yeah, it just seems like we're getting in too far, and we should just probably let this become a wash and make what money we can.
Or at least hold off for now, since there's no time limit.
I suppose.
The time limit.
I only caught the word time limit. Grimith.
Well, you know, that was the only thing that mattered. There's always a time limit.
Oh, okay.
I press the unmute button of my microphone, it doesn't immediately register, unlike, say, with my headset. I notice it from time to time, and I forget about it from time to time. But yeah, just because what I was going after was just because a time limit wasn't stated doesn't mean there isn't a time limit. It's not like, you know, it's good business to have contracts lingering while trying to pick up other contracts. It's a job, and, you know, many people don't have one of those.
So it looks like we either break into the bar, go down to Escondido, or renege on our contract.
Rather go down to Escondido. In the confusion and hubbub, you know, they might end up leaving something behind in all of their confusion and chaos since they're suddenly rapidly packing up and moving on. You know, they might have other outposts somewhere that we might be able to find and locate through information garnered there that we can then use to figure out more about the supply or anything. I say do that first because that it is really on a limited time crunch thing while we're talking right now instead of moving, whereas the bar is always going to be there. I mean, to the extent of, you know, our mission, our job here, it's not like the bar is going to suddenly vanish.
People operating the bar that have whatever ties may decide to go elsewhere, though.
But considering the availability and prominence of Lady McGee, I would rather put her on the back burner and go after Escondido first. Or go south of there, to the toxic base.
Yeah, that makes sense. Are you in any condition to go down to Escondido, though?
Needing a ride, I'm pretty fine. And the Doberman will need a ride too. It's fine, it only just got strafed by a few dozen bullets.
Coyote will snort. Alright, well, I guess I'll meet you out there with the hover truck. I guess that's the best way to get down there. Anyone else taking their own transportation, or do they want to ride? He may meet you at the bolt hole, by the way.
Listen, I really don't know if I can afford to be going against the Mafia on this one.
How did they make you, by the way? Did they mention?
We've had previous dealings. They must have recognized me.
I was just wondering if it was by site or by...
Look, a job's a job. If you're not going to be a part of the job, then you're not going to be a part of the job, in which case it's not a big deal. If you want to, step out, that's your own issues that you'll have to resolve. I'm not going to question you on that one way or the other. That's why we're heading down south to the toxic base first anyway, so that we don't have to confront something or another. Like you said, it could just be hired muscle.
Well, I'm going down there if everyone else is. Well, if someone else is.
I mean, regardless, Coyote's going to take the hover truck and go get Truthsayer and his beat-up drum. So people can hop on in and bicker about it, argue about it on the way if they want.
Well, after that conversation, Truthsayer will be expecting you. Then he will finally stand up from his prone position, frown at all of the dust that's on his, and funny blood and maybe a tuft of fur that's on his beautiful clothes, and sigh, get angry. Also, Sean forgot how to whisper.
Go ahead, just ignore that.
Ignored. One thing, Coyote is going to bring the chariot with him and see if they're going down there, on the way down, he can fix it up well enough, because he only needs 3 more to meet the threshold. Even with negatives, he might be able to get that.
And the response would be /W space Reaperoa space message.
Yeah,
Correct.
or /reply, /REP.
Okay.
And /help should list everything like that. So yeah, if you wanted to run up and start working on that. It's not my fault. Not my fault.
Start working on what? Who is that to?
If you wanted to go up and start working on your drone. Or planning what else you're doing.
Yeah, I was going to definitely try to get the last out of repair done on that chariot, just so he has 2 drones that can attack. He's only going to have his toolbox with him, because even his mobile workshop is in the SUV, and I don't think that can be easily moved quickly. So he can try it either at the bolt hole, or he can put the thing on the Everglades on autopilot, or have someone else pilot while he does that. I just don't know how much time is involved. He needs an hour, of course.
To take longer than an hour for us to get down there.
Right. I meant like on the way to the boat hole and waiting for people to do their thing down there, I don't think is an hour. So it is going to have to wait till we decide, if we haven't already decided to go down there.
Decided as far as I'm concerned. I certainly don't want to let this go, and my character doesn't want to let this go.
Neither
All
do
right,
I.
All right, in that case, I'm going to guess he's going to take at least a -1 for distractions. He doesn't have optimal tools. So
don't be volunteering penalties to the damn game master, Chris. Don't you know how to play anything?
Hey, man, I'm just too honest for my own good, I guess. Okay, fine, Sean. You tell me what the negatives are for repairing my drone while in a moving vehicle. And only a toolkit.
Which drone is it?
It's the Chariot. I have 9 out of 12 done on the threshold, so he needs 3 hits to get it up and running by the time
I'll
he's done.
say that the toolkit's sufficient for now because you've got most of the parts together.
Okay.
-3 for car?
Okay, and we'll assume that he has the schematics and can't remember what that other +1. I'm not on the page anymore, but it's we'll go with rolling 7 because it was 10 last time. All right, 11 for 12. So unless it takes 2 hours, that's all he can do. I mean, of course, I'm assuming he can jury-rig it to do something simple, since it's almost repaired anyway, using his perk or whatever, but it's by no means fully functional.
She'll mention a park and then hang up.
All right.
Did you want to tell anyone else about that?
I might have a new contact. Mentioned something about a toxic mage. Wants me to meet at the park.
Related, there are certainly not many of those. Can you back up?
To remind you, the rabbit was technically a toxic mage.
Like I said, I think it's true what Trusair said. There's not that many toxic mages. They're kind of rare compared to, they're not a major part of the 1%.
Will you immediately head to the park nearby?
Yeah, but Twitch will scope it out with her bike sensors real quick first before she actually heads on in.
Well, assuming 1 in 10,000, that's still like 15 in the city. Well then, after scoping it around and head in, not even a minute passes and you see someone show up.
All right.
You can see that token, right?
I can. Well, go ahead.
She'll be looking around, not seeming to see you right off the bat.
Well, Twitch will head in, take a seat on a park bench somewhere in plain view. she was the one who called, so she should be able to recognize Twitch. Presumably she was the one who called.
She'll come nearby, stand near you, and not trying to be secretive about it at all. Say, you're the fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot. You might need to be more specific.